Boys, this is fourth part of the central government lesson. Now we are going to see about the speaker. The Lok Sabha is presided over by the speaker. Our Lok Sabha is presided over by the headed over by the speaker. The office of the speaker occupies an essential position. So the speaker's office occupies the essential position. The speaker presides over a joint sitting of the two houses of the parliament. Sitting means nothing but meeting. The speaker presides over a meeting of the two houses of the parliament. That means upper house and lower house, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. So in the absence of the speaker, deputy means nothing but assistant speaker, okay, preside over the meeting. Powers and functions of the parliament. The Parliament of India has the functions of legislation. So our Indian Parliament functions according to the legislation, administration, budget passing and discussion of various subjects. So what are the discussion? Development plans and international relation and internal policies. Parliament is also, our Parliament is also vested with powers to impeach the President and to remove judges of the Supreme Court and High Courts. Our Parliament has the full authority of remove the Supreme Court judge and High Court judge, Chief Election Commissioner, Auditor General. Okay, the Parliament has the power to change the boundaries of the states. Our Parliament also has the power to change the boundaries of the states. Attorney General of India. The Constitution has provided for office of the Attorney General of India. Our Constitution only provided this posting, Attorney General posting. He is the highest law officer in the country. He is appointed by the President. This Attorney General is appointed by the President. He must be a person who is qualified to be appointed the Judge of the Supreme Court. So he has the rights to appoint the Judge of the Supreme Court. He may be removed by the President anytime, but this Attorney General may be removed by the President at any time. He may also quit his office by submitting his resignation to the President. He may also resign his posting by giving the resignation letter to the President. Duties and functions of Attorney General of India. To give advice to the Government of India upon such legal matters which are referred to him by the President. He will give advice to the government, okay, with the help of the President. Attorney General of India has the right of audience in all courts in the territory of India. He has been sitting in any court in any territory of India by audience post, okay. Further, he has the right to speak and to take part in the proceedings of both houses of the Parliament. He has to speak both houses. What houses? Lower house and upper house. Any committee of the Parliament of which he may be named a member but without a right to vote. In any committee, he may be named as a member but without right to vote. This Attorney General won't give the right to vote. Okay. He enjoys all the privileges and immunities that are available to a member of Parliament. So he also one member of Parliament. Judiciary. Judiciary is the third organ of the government. It plays a vital role in protecting the rights and freedom of the citizens. Supreme Court. The Supreme Court is the guardian of the Constitution. Which is the guardian of our Constitution? Supreme Court. Our judiciary is autonomous of the legislative and executive wing of the union and state government. An integrated judiciary means a single judicial hierarchy for the whole country. Integrated judiciary means what? Single judicial system. So what is the meaning of judiciary? all courts and all judges, all lawyers are joined together and called judiciary system. Okay, they all are worked under the control of judiciary. The judiciary plays an important role in defending the rights and freedom of the citizens. So it is very important to maintain the freedom of all citizens. It plays an important role in analyzing and interpreting the necessities of laws and constitution, and also it plays an important role in analyzing and necessities of laws and constitution. So see here, this is of a Supreme Court of India. Okay, the Supreme Court of India, New Delhi, was inaugurated on January 28, 1950. It succeeded the Federal Court of India, established under the Government of India Act of 1935. So our Supreme Court of India, Delhi, inaugurated in which year? Started in January 28, 1950. Okay. Composition of the Supreme Court. At the commencement of the Constitution in 1950, our Supreme Court consisted of 8 judges. So how many judges? 8 judges. Supreme Court started with 8 judges, including the Chief Justice. At present, the Supreme Court consists of 34 judges, including the Chief Justice. Now there are 34 judges. Appointment of the judges. The Chief Justice of Supreme Court of India is appointed by the President. We already know this. Supreme Court of India appointed by the President. The other judges are appointed by the President in consultation with the collegiums with Chief Justice head. Okay. So other judges are appointed by the President only, but with the collegiums with the Chief Justice. Qualification of the Supreme Court. He must be a citizen of India. He should have worked as a judge of a high court at least 5 years. He must have worked as a judge in where? High court. How many years? 5 years. He should have worked as an advocate. In which court? High court. At least 10 years. He is the opinion of the President, a distinguished jurist. The Constitution also provides for the appointment of judges to the Supreme Court on an ad hoc basis. Ad hoc means nothing but temporary basis. The Chief Justice and other judges of the Supreme Court hold the office of the age of how many years? 65 years. The judges of the Supreme Court can resign before their term by giving their resignation in writing to the President. They can resign their job by giving the resignation letter to the President. The Parliament also has the power to remove the judges by invoking impeachment provisions. Impeachment means what? If the judges do any mistake, okay, impeachment means nothing but mistake. The Supreme Court has its permanent seat in New Delhi. So this is the permanent seat in New Delhi. It may also sit any other place in India, which may be decided by the Chief Justice of India with the approval of the President of India. Powers and functions of the Supreme Court. Original jurisdiction. So this original jurisdiction is nothing but the cases which are brought directly in the first instance to the Supreme Court. The cases will come to the Supreme Court directly. No, that is only called original jurisdiction. They may be, that cases may be dispute. Dispute means what? Fight. Fight between Government of India and state. Indian government and state government. Okay. Dispute. Fight. Fight between two or more states. The writs are issued by the Supreme Court for the enforcement of the fundamental rights. Writs means nothing but legal document. Okay, legal document are issued by the Supreme Court for the enforcement of the fundamental rights. Second one, appellate jurisdiction. The Supreme Court is the final appellate court in the country. As regard the appellate jurisdiction, the Supreme Court hears appeals against the decisions of High Court in civil and criminal constitutional cases. So, some civil, criminal and constitutional cases, Supreme Court hears appeal against the High Court. In some cases, Supreme Court take decision against the High Court. So these cases are called appellate jurisdiction. Okay, such a case can be brought before the Supreme Court only if the High Court certifies that the case invites a sustainable of law as to the interpretation of the Constitution. So after getting the certificate from the High Court only, these cases will come to the Supreme Court. Okay, advisory jurisdiction. The Constitution confers on the President the power to refer the Supreme Court any question of law or fact which is his opinion is of public importance. So advisory means nothing but Supreme Court always be one part of the advisory body of the Parliament. Okay, miscellaneous jurisdiction. The law declared by the Supreme Court is binding on all courts within the territory of India. So the law commanded by the Supreme Court is binding on all courts within the territory of India. This law is capable for the territory of India. The Supreme Court is authorized to make rules for regulating generally the practice and procedure of the court with the approval of the President. So the Supreme Court is authorized to make rules and regulating. So it has the right to take rules and regulations. Okay, judicial review. The power of judiciary to declare as law unconstitutional is known as judicial review. Unconstitutional means what? Opposite for constitutional is unconstitutional. The Supreme Court enjoys this power. So this judicial review power enjoyed by the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court of India has individual review power with regard to dispute between central and the states. Fight between central and the states to interpret and clarify a provision of the Constitution about which there are some doubts and differences of opinion. So sometimes state government and central government have the differences of opinion. No, so these differences are clarified by the Supreme Court. Protecting the fundamental rights. Our Supreme Court only the safeguard of our fundamental rights. Citizens, all citizens' fundamental rights. Those laws passed by the legislatures which are not in accordance with the Constitution. So some laws are passed by the legislatures. No, so that laws are not in accordance with the Constitution. That laws are not joined with our Constitution. Okay, thank you.